this morning, or these ones right here?
Both. Just glad that that it's done, and really happy to know that I'll be here for a few more years. And my last contract, I don't think I thought about the possibility of still playing beyond that at the time. So just really happy that that's worked out this way.
Sid, what were you contemplating? I know you wanted to stay. I know that was sort of never really in question, but what were you contemplating to take it to this point before signing?
Yeah, I think just the years, just not knowing, trying to project how you're going to feel in a number of years. It's hard, and just making sure that it's something that made sense for both myself and the team, and just trying to figure out kind of in my mind what that looked like. And it was a pretty smooth process. So like I said, I'm glad it's done and can focus on playing, and we're really grateful that can keep playing here for a number of years.
Can you try to put into words what the Penguins in this city mean to you, and why it's been such a good fit for as long as it has been?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably difficult to put that amount of time into a soundbite, but obviously the support, the people, the fans, the organization, just everything over the years. It's been really special, and I've had some incredible experiences and memories. So I just want to continue that. Basically, I think that having the opportunity to play with Gino and Tanger this long, which is pretty rare. Being part of an organization like this for as long as I have has been really special. So just like I said, happy to be able to continue it.
Sid, would you have? Go ahead, Jeff.
I was just. Was there any temptation to think about another organization or see if the grass was greener somewhere else?
No, I mean, I had some conversations with Kyle throughout the process, and I think that that was reassuring, just based on what we discussed, as far as there's still hunger from the organization and ownership to win, and a commitment there. And I think that's something that I think for the time that I've been here, that's been the case, and that's been there. And I think that's really important. I feel like as players, for all the different guys that have played here over the course of the time that I've been here, it's something that you build as a culture. That's something that's I think ingrained, and not missing the playoffs for a couple of years, not being in it is difficult, and you want to try to find every way possible to get back in there and make sure that we compete for the Stanley Cup. So I think that was reassuring to hear, and that helped. But no, I think it was more just hearing that reassurance.
So you mentioned when you signed your last contract, you didn't think you'd be going this long. Was there ever a point where you realized, yeah, maybe I can get a few more years out of this and maybe approach 40, maybe even exceed 40? Is there anything you ever realized that I can do this? Or?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever really looked too far ahead. I mean, I know we talked about it at the end of last season when I was leaving. Whether it's good year, bad year, I don't ever try to look too far ahead, and I didn't really do that when I was 25, and I'm not going to do it now. I think it's a little more difficult now, just because everyone wants to know, how do you feel, what do you think, how long you're going to play for, and it makes it a little easier when you don't really have the answer, because that's the truth. I don't think anybody knows, and like I said, looking back at that last contract, I just wasn't thinking that far ahead. I probably just thought, at that point, it might be something I'd be contemplating, but kind of going through the process, mentally, I feel good. I still love the game and want to compete, and I'm not gonna project too far ahead, but I'm gonna try to play as long as I can.
I'm going to ask you to, Sid, because you mentioned in Vegas that you thought quick turnarounds could be done, and Kyle's mentioned that too. You cited the Rangers and the Kings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's what you had in mind, but why do you feel confident about that?
I think it's just trust and belief, and knowing the organization, knowing the group of guys that we have. Just being in so many different situations, and over the course of my career, I think there's always been expectation here, and I love that. I love that the expectations to win. I think it gets the best out of everybody. It pushes us to be better, and I think it's an important element. So I think all those things combined just make me think that way.
Sid, how do you feel about the state of the franchise roster-wise? Kind of mentioned it there, but bringing guys like Hayes in, but embracing that youth movement from some of the other young guys coming in.
Yeah, I mean, as far as age, I don't think it changes our approach. We play young teams that are really good, and age is what it is. I think it's just about trying to become a team, and I think you look at this year, it's really unique because there's a ton of competition for jobs. Typically there might be a little less. There's one or two spots. This year is probably the most competitive. Looking back at other years that I've seen. So hopefully that's something that pushes us as a group. But I think it's a good thing, and to have that right from the start, I think will set the tone.
So just to go back to you only having played here, beyond the emotions of it, just how much has that helped you as a player throughout your career to have that comfort and that consistency of only having played for one franchise?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, from talking to other guys, I know that there's always an adjustment, and for some guys it's a welcome change of scenery. For other guys, it's a little bit more of a hurdle. So I don't know what that's like, but I certainly can tell you just from being here and seeing things evolve. Things change over time. That's just the way it is, and I think you adjust to that. But having that constant support, from the fans, from ownership, from the organization, having consistent teammates in my case for a couple of guys, and Gino and Tanger, all that stuff. I think you appreciate that it's not always like that. So I definitely, like I said, I'm grateful for that.
Why have you never wanted to be the highest paid player? Or even go above sort of that value?
I don't know. I think winning is the most important thing to me, and I think understanding the dynamic and how it works, and trying to give the team the best possible chance to be successful, and ultimately you got to go out there and do your best and do your job. So I think I'm more focused on that than than the number, I guess. But that's just something that's my approach, and that's how I've always kind of seen it.
So
One or two more
I
guys.
don't want to inflate your ego, but you offer a sense of stability for this organization in this city that few other athletes can. How cognizant are you of that? And is there ever a sense of duty or obligation to still be that guy as long as you want to be? And it goes well beyond whether you win or lose. I mean, there's season ticket holders, sponsors, all that stuff that gets affiliated with your presence here.
Yeah, I mean, I put a lot of pressure on myself, so I try not to to throw all that into my mindset. But I think I do understand that there's a responsibility, and with that, I hope that makes me better, and I hope that people understand that I take that serious. It's not something I take lightly. So yeah, I think that it's something that crosses my mind, but I try not to let that sit too much. There's a lot of things you got to focus on, and I think just trying to be a good player, trying to be the best I can, trying to be a good teammate, and that sort of thing is all what I think about, and it kind of comes hand in hand with what you said.
Sid, during this process, did you take any time to kind of reflect on some of the things you've done in the sport?
No, not really. I think it was more, it wasn't a daily thing per se. I think it was more just trying to wrap my head around, trying to project, how long I think I could possibly play for, understanding the position of the team, and just making sure that I was really comfortable with everything, and I was. So like I said, it was a really pretty good process that way.
Thanks, Sid.
Yeah.
Thank you.